Mount Vesuvius, a unique volcano like no other, located in the southeast coast of Italy in Naples, and is the only active volcano in mainland Europe. It's regarded as one of the most dangerous volcanoes on Earth. It's erupted over 30 times over the past 17 decades, but it's best known for its eruption in 79 AD, which destroyed two nearby cities, Pompeii and Herculaneum. Before the eruption occurred, a huge earthquake struck, damaging both cities in 63 AD. This was warning activity of an eruption, but nobody paid much attention because seismic activity was so common within the area. But when the eruption of 79 AD occurred, it was violent. Mount Vesuvius ejected clouds of stones, ash, and fumes 33 kilometers in the air, covering the sun. It spewed out molten rock and pulverized pumice at the rate of 1.5 million tons per second, and at the same time, pyroclastic flows were rapidly racing down the volcano, eagerly awaiting to destroy the nearby towns of Pompeii and Herculaneum. Both cities were covered in ash, mud, and rocks. Buildings had crumbled, and most of the population had suffocated and were coated in a layer of pumice. It is said that about 16,000 people died during the eruption, and the only surviving account of the eruption was written by Pliny the Younger. A Roman writer and administrator had written, "On August 24th, in the early afternoon, my mother drew my uncle's attention to a cloud of unusual size and appearance. Its general appearance can be best expressed as being like an umbrella plant, for it rose to a great height on a sort of trunk, then split off into branches. I imagine it because it was thrust upwards by the first blast and then left unsupported as the pressure subsided, or else it was borne down by its own weight so that it spread out and gradually dispersed. Sometimes it looked white, sometimes blotched dirty, according to the amount of soil and ashes it carried with it." But since the event in 79 AD, the last eruption occurred in 1944 during World War II, and it wasn't as bad as the 79 AD eruption, but killed 28 people. The eruption also glazed and covered most of the aircraft at the Pompeii airfield. Now going back to today. The city of Naples is home to 3 million people who live close to Mount Vesuvius. The city of Naples has lots of churches and religious structures, and is also home to many museums. It also has the catacombs of San Gennaro, royal palaces, beautiful hotels, enticing scenery, as well as two major public squares including Piazza Dante and Piazza dei Martini. Pompeii and Herculaneum are now tourist sites because they were abandoned after Mount Vesuvius erupted. But besides having famous tourist attractions, they also have a well-developed and strong economy. They are the fourth most important city for economic strength and specialize in tourism, commerce, industry, and agriculture. Although in some areas there's a great number of immigrants, high levels of unemployment, crime, and poverty. They used to be a busy industry with lots of factories, but now they don't have as many factories and still have corruption. All year they have a fairly mild climate, ranging from highs of 86 degrees in the summer to a low of -10 in the wet winters. Every month they get about 40 to 60 millimeters of rain with a humidity that ranges from 60 to 80%. The best months to visit would be March to May or September to October when the weather isn't too hot or too cold. Now the plates that helped form Mount Vesuvius were the African and Eurasian plates, but it wasn't all that simple. Mount Vesuvius is part of the Campanian volcanic arc and was formed when the African and Eurasian plates converged, and the African plate subducted under the Eurasian plate, like this. While the African plate was being subducted into the earth, some of the rocks started melting, forming into magma, and went up through the slab window, which was formed while the African plate was subducting. Up here is the magma. This is the slab window, and this is showing the magma going up toward Mount Vesuvius. After Mount Vesuvius was formed, it reached a height of 1,281 meters, or 4,203 feet, and was a stratovolcano, otherwise known as a complex volcano, based on its violent eruptions and many layers of ash, rock, and pumice that made up the layers of Mount Vesuvius. Volcanologists use hammers to take samples of igneous rocks. They also use seismometers to measure the power of an earthquake. Volcanologists also use tilt meters to measure tiny changes that might indicate a buildup of gases below the surface of the volcano that could result in an eruption. They use the basic equipment such as heat-resistant suits, goggles, magnifying glasses, and cameras. The sign of a volcanic eruption is an earthquake. If you lined up 3 seismometers and they all showed similar results, that may indicate magma movement. As you continue to monitor the movement, you may be able to determine whether the earthquake is migrating towards the Earth's surface. The study of ground deformation is also another clue that helps scientists figure out if a volcano will erupt or not. And finally, changes in temperatures of gases coming out of fumaroles can also indicate whether that volcano will erupt or not. If you are outside during a pyroclastic flow, you want to run away as fast as you can, or if you have a vehicle available, drive away as fast as you can. If outside during an ash fall, make sure to roll yourself up into a ball, or if you burn yourself, seek care immediately. If you are inside, make sure to turn off all air conditioners, fans, and shut down all electronics. And also make sure to bring in your pets. And if you can, store up some water and food and extra safety supplies. Now, if you know you're near a nearby volcano, make sure you keep on the road to tune into any upcoming reports. Maybe even pack a safety supply kit just in case, and make sure you wear a long sleeve t-shirt and pants just in case.